How's everyone doing today? Excellent. Let's get the energy going. Fantastic. Excellent. Again, thank you to Nikki. Thank you to CVA. Really a pleasure to be here and in Switzerland, and I'm really excited to talk to all of you today about the transformative impact that zero knowledge, or ZK, is having on blockchain, and in particularly through the lens of Mina protocol. And just, it's interesting how privacy is treated today and how it's going to be treated in the future. And what we're hoping is that privacy, it's not an afterthought or an add-on, but it's embedded and woven into the fabric of our everyday lives, of all the applications and interfaces we're using, that there'll be ZK apps, zero knowledge proofs built into those so that we all have control over what we want to share, who we want to share it with, and when we want to share it. So selective disclosure. And if you listen to some of the people predicting the future, particularly the sci-fi folks, there's some very wild and maybe not so pretty ways in which our privacy risks to be invaded and violated in the future. Think of AI profiling, nano swarms recording everything around us, or brain hacking. And while that future might be hopefully a bit far away, the other future, which is much nearer, is the fact that AI is moving to the edge. What does that mean? It means it's moving into devices. So anywhere, everywhere that information can be captured around us, it will be, through your phones, through your glasses, through appliances. And so that, the days of a friendly chatbot on your web browser, that's going to be a relic pretty soon. It's going to be in devices. And that's why having zero knowledge embedded will help us counterbalance that and provide us the control over the privacy that we want and deserve. And so that puts us, we're on the brink of a new era, the Internet of True Things. And much like the Internet of Things was connected devices communicating with each other, the Internet of True Things is a vision for a global open database of verified statements of truth. And that will let us to eliminate, not have to rely on trust, but verified truth, and enhancing the security and the privacy of our everyday digital transactions. And to put this in perspective, we can take a quick walk down blockchain memory lane. And I have 2009 up there. I know people are going to be like, wait, the Bitcoin white paper came out October 31st, 2008. Well, I think it was 2009 that really people started noticing Bitcoin and waking up to what digital cash was and is. However, Bitcoin, as we all know, only supported simple transactions and had privacy issues. Nonetheless, I do credit, at least in my opinion, Bitcoin with paving the way for decentralized finance. And then Ethereum burst upon the scene, and bringing with it full programmability, scripting, and the introduction of smart contracts was an amazing advance for blockchain. But as many of us here know, that brought with it scaling issues and high costs. Then, interestingly, in 2016, Zcash introduced us to private payments with zero-knowledge snarks, succinct, non-interactive arguments of knowledge. Say that 5 times fast. And so while Zcash brought enhanced privacy for payments, it didn't have programmability, so its use cases were limited. However, again, I give it credit to paving the potential for showing us the power of ZK, and also showing that more advances were needed to make it useful. And then we started seeing in 2020 scaling solutions coming out for Ethereum, optimistic rollups, ZK used for rollups to help address some of the scaling issues. However, those still settle back and rely heavily on Ethereum. And then in 2021, a project very near and dear to my heart, Mina was launched, and Mina was a significant breakthrough. A blockchain whose entire state could be verified in milliseconds. And the entire state of that blockchain contained in a small instance of memory, less than 22 kilobytes. So a lightweight design, just ripe for scalability and efficiency compared to traditional blockchain. And now where we stand today, I don't know how many times you guys have heard the word ZK during this conference, but it's hot right now. This is the space to be in, and programmable ZK especially. So bringing ZK, adding a layer of ZK across any type of data set on any industry, if you think finance, health, news, media, AI, combating deepfakes. So the world is now ripe for ZK. And it means that ZK is one of the missing pieces, a critical missing piece in the puzzle that's going to help bring blockchain to mainstream users and enterprises. So I'm not going to go through everything here in detail, but you get the point. ZK fills a gap in bringing scalability, privacy, interoperability, reducing costs, making it more efficient, making it super efficient to verify and provide attestations at low cost. So again, getting to that truth that eliminates the need for us to have trust. And this is how this works on Mina, or how is this working on Mina, I guess is the question. And Mina was designed from the ground up with recursive zero-knowledge proofs. As we were just looking at the history of blockchain and discussing it, we see that ZK really fills a lot of gaps to address scalability, privacy, and security with blockchain. However, Mina leverages these proofs for so much more. On a programmable ZK blockchain, it unlocks and creates an open database of verified statements, applications, infrastructure that fosters a new wave of innovation. With an open composable database, applications within the Mina ecosystem can seamlessly interact and build upon each other. And concretely, what does that mean? Well, for example, you can prove that you're eligible to participate in a permission pool on a DEX using combined proofs from identity and KYC application that you've used previously. And these proofs aren't static, they build upon each other, creating an open global database of verified statements. So really starting to build this proof of everything. And this opens up a new design space for unprecedented applications. And again, as we see, blockchain helps create truth, eliminating the need for us to rely just on trust, but there's scalability and cost issues. Recursive ZK proofs are a great alternative, great solution to address that. And with Mina's ZK proofs, it allows developers to build applications that can rely on the verified statements of truth of others without the usual high costs. And that starts to unlock businesses previously blocked by data silos and allowing people to build with each other, creating a more collaborative and open digital world. And that's really, this uncharted territory is defined uniquely by Mina's proof of everything system. And just peeling back another layer, this is a diagram of, if you will, of a systems landscape, cut up into 4 quadrants: replicated, distributed, permissioned, and permissionless. And as far as I'm concerned, Mina occupies completely new space in this wider tech systems landscape of a distributed, permissionless system. And think about that for a minute. In a replicated world, like Ethereum or SQL, data has to be replicated across servers, and that creates scalability challenges and issues. With Mina, it's a distributed system so that data and computation is distributed across network participants. And those network participants, they don't need to share that data or that computation back with the network. They only need to share the proofs that it was true. And that eliminates unneeded redundancy, eliminates bloat, creates scalability and efficiency. Oh, thanks. Kind of lost my train there for a second. But I guess ultimately the TLDR on this slide is Mina underpins the integrity of the internet. users can verify the work of other users from any device. And given Mina's permissionless and decentralized system, anybody can contribute to this, and anybody can contribute data to it as well, provided that data is verified as true. And then, as we were saying, others can build upon that verified truth and use those statements, and again, just creating a much more open, collaborative digital world. And these are not just ideas. These are some of the projects. There's hundreds of developers and projects that are now starting to build on top of Mina. ProtoKit is a layer 2 smart contract solution, if you will, pretty much the Mina Solidity, although it's not Solidity, but developers can develop smart contracts in a really friendly to use development environment. Zecco is a ZK rollup solution where developers can deploy isomorphic ZK rollups. Means it looks like they're deploying it directly on Mina. PunkPoll is a voting application. For those of you who were at the startup competition, PunkPoll was used earlier for voting for the People's Choice Award for startups. And PunkPoll is a voting application that ensures the privacy and security of the individuals that are voting, as well as ensuring the validity and the eligibility of those voters for the organizers. And they didn't win the People's Choice Award, but Hakata is another project building on Mina that actually won the first place of the competition. And they're building solutions that bring the privacy that users want together with the compliance that regulators require. And so they're combining KYC and compliance data into zero-knowledge proofs that get stored in attestations associated with people's wallets, and again, can participate in this open database of actually private. The data is not shared. It's just the statements, the validated statements that are true. So it lets people participate, for example, in a permission DEX, as we were saying before. And so it's definitely the summer of ZK. It's definitely summer, getting warmer today. And I think it's definitely the year of ZK, 2024. There's an unprecedented amount of developers now creating applications with zero-knowledge proof. It's driven by the need for security, privacy, and scalability on blockchain. However, there's so much more innovation now being created on ZK, so it's being used for much more than infrastructure and layer 2 scaling, but again, can be applied across all different kinds of data sets. And we're really proud to announce, from what I understand, Mina is the first layer 1 native ZK blockchain to bring ZK programmability onto its mainnet. That's another massive step forward. So really just the beginning, and this allows developers to start creating applications using this global open verified database of true statements, really building upon the proof of everything to start creating the Internet of True Things. And I'm not going to take any questions now, but I'm going to be around tonight, I'm going to be around tomorrow. So if anyone wants to chat more, I'm here. A few of my colleagues are here. You can get me on Twitter at khem or email Kurt Hemecker at Mina Foundation. And thank you all.